I used to work late shifts at a small warehouse outside the city. Nothing fancy. Just loading paperwork and long hours that messed with your sense of time. One night around 2:30 a.m., my shift ended early. It was raining lightly. Not enough to be loud, just enough to make everything feel heavier. Instead of taking the highway home, I decided to use the old back road. It cut through a wooded area and saved about 10 minutes. I'd driven that road before, but never this late, and never alone. The moment I turned onto it, my radio lost signal. Not static, just silence. I remember thinking that was strange, but not strange enough to turn back. That was my first mistake. About 5 minutes in, I saw something ahead. At first, I thought it was an animal, maybe a deer. I slowed down, but as my headlights reached it, I realized it wasn't moving. It was just standing there, right in the middle of the road. I couldn't make out details, just a dark shape taller than it should have been. My heart started pounding, but I kept rolling forward slowly. That's when it stepped aside. Not ran, not jumped. It stepped, calmly, like it had been waiting for me to see it. I passed by without stopping, gripping the steering wheel so hard my hands hurt. I checked my mirrors. There was nothing there. But I didn't speed up. I don't know why. Something told me not to. A few minutes later, I noticed a house. I'd never seen it before. It sat back from the road, half hidden by trees, with no lights on. The driveway was overgrown and an old car sat near the front, rust-covered, flat tires, the kind of car that hadn't moved in years. As I drove past, my car slowed on its own. Not stalled, slowed. The dashboard lights flickered. That's when I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The front door of the house was open, just slightly, like someone had stepped inside and never closed it. As I passed the house, I heard it. A knock. Not on my car, on something wooden. 3 slow knocks. I slammed the gas pedal and my car jolted forward. The engine roared like it had just woken up. I didn't look back. I didn't breathe. I just drove. The knocking didn't follow me, but the feeling did. That heavy pressure, like something had noticed me and hadn't forgotten. I made it home that night. Barely. The next day, curiosity got the better of me. I checked a local map. That road existed, the forest existed, but the house, it wasn't there. No address, no property records, no abandoned buildings listed. I never took that road again. And sometimes, late at night when it rains softly, I swear I hear knocking. I installed security cameras after a break-in happened 2 streets away. Nothing dramatic, just something to help me sleep better. I lived alone in a small suburban house. Quiet neighborhood, no history of crime. The cameras connected to an app on my phone. Front door, backyard, hallway. For the first few weeks, nothing happened. Just raccoons, wind. Then one night around 1:12 a.m., my phone vibrated. That didn't make sense. The hallway camera was inside, and I was already in bed. I didn't move. I just opened the app. The hallway feed loaded slowly, like it was thinking about whether it should show me. At first, everything looked normal. Dark hallway, closed bathroom door, my bedroom door slightly open. Then the motion alert triggered again. But nothing moved. No shadows, no light changes. Just stillness. I told myself it was a glitch, I locked my phone and tried to sleep. 5 minutes later, again. This time I noticed something new. The bathroom door was open. I knew it had been closed. I watched the feed for almost a full minute. Nothing happened. Then very slowly, the door moved. Not swung, not pushed. It opened just enough to create a thin black gap. I dropped my phone. The sound echoed in my room, louder than it should have been. The hallway feed went offline. I sat up in bed, listening. At first, there was nothing. Then I heard it. Bare footsteps. Slow. Careful. Moving down the hallway. Stopping. Right outside my bedroom door. I didn't scream. I didn't move. I watched the handle. It didn't turn. Instead, I heard breathing. Not loud, not heavy. Just close enough that I knew it wasn't mine. I stayed frozen until morning. When sunlight finally filled the room, I grabbed a kitchen knife and checked the house. Every door was locked. Windows closed. No signs of forced entry. The camera app showed no recordings after 1:12 a.m., except one. A still frame from the hallway camera, taken at 1:13. It showed the hallway, and at the very edge of the frame, a shadow, too tall, too thin, standing just outside my bedroom door. I moved out 2 weeks later. The new owners never mentioned anything strange, but sometimes, late at night, my phone still vibrates. No app installed. No camera connected, just a notification preview that disappears before I can read it. I went to the hospital around 1:40 a.m., not for an emergency, just severe chest pain that wouldn't go away. The place was almost empty. No chaos, no crying, just fluorescent lights and the smell of disinfectant. The nurse checked me in and told me to wait. She said someone would call my name soon. I sat down in the waiting area alone. The TV was on, muted. A vending machine hummed quietly. That's when I realized something felt off. The hallway behind the reception desk was completely dark. Every other hallway was lit, but that one wasn't. I kept looking at that hallway, not because I wanted to, because my eyes kept drifting back to it. The darkness didn't look natural. It wasn't just unlit, it felt thick, like light was being swallowed. After a while, I noticed something else. The floor reflection. The polished tiles reflected everything, except that hallway. No shine, no reflection, just black. A wheelchair rolled out of the darkness. Slowly, no sound. It stopped under the light, empty, no patient, no nurse, just sitting there. The wheels were still turning slightly, like someone had just let go. I stood up without thinking. That's when I heard movement, not footsteps. Something dragging lightly across the floor, coming from inside the dark hallway. The hospital intercom clicked on. A soft chime echoed through the building. Then a voice spoke, flat, emotionless. Code Gray, 3rd floor. The nurse at the desk froze. She looked at the hallway. Then she looked at me and whispered, "Don't move." I asked her what Code Gray meant. She didn't answer. Instead, she locked the door behind the desk. The dragging sound stopped. Something stepped into the edge of the light. Not fully, just enough for me to see its outline. Too tall. Shoulders bent at the wrong angle. It didn't walk. It shifted, like it wasn't used to being upright. The lights above it flickered. The nurse closed her eyes. I couldn't. Then it spoke. Not clearly, not loudly, but it said my name. Perfectly. I felt every hair on my body stand up. The nurse screamed for security. The light snapped back to full brightness. The hallway was empty. The wheelchair was gone. Security arrived minutes later. They told me the third floor had been closed for renovations. No patients, no staff, and no hallway lights installed there anymore.